we downloaded New York taxi data from web source. If we see the link service, what I have provided in base URL is a complete path of the file. So until till this point, trip data, this is base URL and this is the file name. So this file name represents it is data from 2009, that is year 2009, and 01 is month. So let us see how we can dynamically provide file name using parameters and variables. So I have removed the file name from the link service. I'll click on apply. Go to the pipeline, click on the activity. In the source, open the dataset. Go to connection. Now here we see base URL till trip data, and I'll provide relative URL here. Again, this will be my dynamic file. This is my hard-coded file name. What I'm going to do, I want to accept that as a dynamic name. So in dataset parameters, click on new, let's say file name, and provide a default value there. Go back to connection, remove the hard-coded file name, click on add dynamic content. Our parameter is visible here, that is file name. I just click here. Automatically this file name variable or the parameter will be added in the dynamic content box. Click on finish. When we go back to the pipeline, this data set will ask to provide a file name value. So I'll provide yellow trip data 2009-01 CSE. I will show you by debugging it. However, we are going to see how dynamically we can construct this path and pass to the dataset. In a sync, let us verify we have not provided any file name. Now here also not to mention any file name. Let us debug that. The data is being copied. So it's a success. What we are going to do now, I am going to define parameter at the pipeline level. So I clicked outside of any of these activities in the pipeline panel, where we see the name of the pipeline, copy from web. Click on parameter and new parameter. So I will say file name. Provide default file name here. On the copy activity tab in the source, I'll remove the hard-coded file name and add dynamic content. So before that, let me define p_file name so that we can identify the parameter name quickly, which is at the pipeline level and what is at the dataset level. So here p_file name, this is my pipeline name. So in the dynamic content box, pipeline.parameters.my defined parameter name is visible here. Click on finish and debug it again. When I click on debug or when I do trigger, it will ask me to provide the file name. Let's say I'll provide 2010 and 02. Click OK. Pipeline is now running. We'll go to the storage. We will verify our data is being downloaded. Go to source. We see there are two files. One is 2009 January, second is 2010 February. The file size is different. Both files are downloaded some time back. So this way we can pass the parameter to the pipeline and dataset. However, what we have seen is all the files are being put in the same directory, that is at the root level of container. How I want to place the files into year, month and date format, the folder should be created in that way, and inside that these files should be put. So let us try that. Click on copy New York data copy activity on the sync. Open the dataset. In directory, I am going to add dynamic content. What I am going to use is the internal functions of data factory. So first one, I am going to use current date. So this is my UTC date time, and outside of that I will use format date. We can even search functions from here. Format date time. The format date time accepts date as a first parameter and the format as a second. Y in DD. So this will extract year, month and date from current date time, which is in UTC format. Let us try this as well. The data is being copied. We will go back to storage. We will click on refresh. So this is the year folder got created. Inside that month and today's date. This is the file. So this way we can pass the dynamic contents to the different fields or the activities. There is a provision in data factory called as variables. So the basic difference between parameters and variables, parameters are passed from the outside. Let's say you have environment like development, queue and production and the location of file environment variables are different as per your environment, then you should be passing those values to the parameters. Variables, on the other hand, mostly will be constant or dynamic, which are managed inside the data factory. Let's say I'll put as a date, that is 2020 03/17. I'll leave it as it is. There is activity called set variable. What I'm going to do, I'm going to assign to the date variable today's date. So again, I will use format date, and inside that UTC. And then format. So this time I'm going to use DDMMYYYY. In this way, I want to put the file. So I have set the variable date in DDMMYY. In the copy activity, sync I'm going to add one more parameter, date dir. Keep it blank, remove this, and add date dir. In the pipeline, assign value date dir from the variable. So our variable is visible here as a date. Let's run it. Provide any new file name, let's say 2011 and then 2003. Here, two activities are visible. One is set variable and then copy activity. We see data copy is in progress and throughput is 51 MB. So folder must have been created. So this is my new folder, 17 March 2020. Inside that our file is being copied. So it is up to you how to use variables and parameters. Make sure that code should not break, because variable has data type like string, boolean, and array. For boolean, it has to be either true or false. String, you can set any, and in array you can add multiple values using JSON format.